What is going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the I Formation Podcast here with Ben Hall and my guy, LeRon McClain. Before we get started today, I'm going to let him do what he always does.
Man, what's going on, man? This is LeRon McClain. Ben, what's going on, baby? How you
What's
doing
up, baby?
today?
How you doing?
Man, cool in slow motion in the ocean, man. Hey, man, about to bring out some great content on this episode 14, man. Great NFL content. Remember to follow us on all social media, man. Our Forum Podcast on Twitter, Our Formation Podcast on all other networks, man. Subscribe on their YouTube. Check us out. We're on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. You just want to put your headphones and just listen to us, man. Man, let's kick this thing off, man. Got some great content for y'all today, baby. Let's get it.
So we're gonna start off with the Ravens, just overall. That was the most Ravens Steelers game there ever has been. Like
just like we talked about. Just like I described when I played. Hey, it's gonna be a battle no matter what the records are. It's gonna be a battle every game, and I can't wait for the next one, man. You go ahead.
Yeah. It was a tough game just based off that, they had 3 points going into the fourth quarter and scored 17 points in the fourth quarter. Like, the defense had played so well early, and then it's just like, but it seems like that's a common theme that the Ravens defense has had a little bit this season, where it's kind of start off, but it's some games it's the opposite. Some games they start off terrible and improve as the game goes on, and some games they play great all game and then late in the game fall apart. I don't think it helps that the offense has had some big struggles. Truly, I think if you hold the Steelers to 20 points, you should win the game. Like, their defense is not that good, and the offense really struggled. And there's something's got to change if they want to make a playoff run. But I think that this, like I was talking to somebody, like, this year it's 50-50 for anybody to make the playoffs. So, or to anybody to win the Super Bowl. Like, there's not one team who's like, okay, that team, they're the favorite, they're good.
Yeah,
like Brady and the Bucs are good, but they lost to the football team a couple weeks ago. The Bills were really good at one point this year, and now they're a wild card team. The Ravens were really good early at one point this year, and now they're losing to the Steelers. Like, it's a rivalry game, I understand that, but like, every single team you look at, you can be like, they got flaws, they've lost some bad games. It's just nothing that, to me, there's no team to me that is like, okay, that team is the favorite to win it this year.
Man, not at all. And I feel like it's gonna come down to what team is the most healthiest. And I ain't talking about injuries. I'm talking about who's not on the COVID list, who got all their players, who got all their coaches. You know what I'm saying? Because you never know, man. Right before the AFC Championship or anything, since somebody come down with COVID, and they doing the extreme thing now because teams could cheat with it. I don't even know how they're not cheating. And not saying who don't have COVID or not. You know what I'm saying? Like, still going out there and playing. So it's just crazy. The AFC North, I was gonna ask you, man. It's like that's up in grass now. It's like every team has to win right now if they want to. Like, every game is a playoff game now. You know what I'm saying? Heading into the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? In the season, and they're working out just like them owners and just like the NFL people wanted it. You know what I'm saying? With the schedule. With the schedules and everything, just how it's so many division games in these last weeks, and that's what's going to determine who's going to win the division and who's going to be the wild card. So, I'm glad they got that extra team in there, though, and making everything interesting. So it's just like the Washington football team; they got a chance to win their division, and they have nothing but division games left. Yep. That's crazy. Dallas, Philly, and the Giants at the end of the year, man. That's crazy with their schedule. Then the Ravens. With their schedule coming up, the games that they got left, you know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be very interesting, man. But the Ravens got to come on with it, man. Just hate that hate again. The defense take another blow, you know what I'm saying? With Marlon going out, so I really it's just like now, boss. It's just like now. I just gotta just say like damn, Harbaugh, I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, no, for real.
Like boss, everybody is getting hurt, and like it ain't even no. It's like, man, where do you go now? You got to bring in another guy, and you know what I'm saying, get him ready. And he's not even a starter, man. Just with another defense, and they playing well, just to be still top of the AFC, man. It's just about, you know what I'm saying. It gonna take a lot of, I think, in these last weeks, and I want to say in these last week, man, it's gonna come down to coaching. It's gonna come down to coaching and leadership. on your team because you might go into your game without your star quarterback or your star running back. You know what I'm saying? The injuries coming in effect. It's getting cold.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And, it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
So before we jump to the Ravens-Browns game, I wanted to ask you what your thoughts were on the 2-point conversion at the end. Because first I'll say 100% I was on board. I didn't even know about Humphrey's injury until after the game, as most people didn't. But even before that, as soon as they scored the touchdown, I was like, win the game right here. Because I think, no bash to the defense, but the way the defense had played, if Pittsburgh gets the ball there, they go down the field and score. And even if the Ravens get the ball there, I don't know how they're going down the field and scoring, because the only time it seems like that offense is moving is in a 2-minute drill. So I want to see what your opinion was on going for 2 there at the end.
I think it was as soon as he went for 2, I was like, man, Harbaugh getting up out of there. He getting up out of there. He going for the win, and I think it was a good call.
Yeah,
it's a win. Like if they win it, bro. If they get it, they're top of the thing. It's a great win. Yep. If they lose it, hey, we still tied with everything.
Yeah,
it was, man. I think it was a good, to me. I think it was a great call. They had the right call on. It just Pittsburgh had the perfect blitz on at the time. If it was a hesitation of that blitz, the guy, he had a run pass option. You know what I'm saying? He could have ran it or threw that pass to Andrews. But it was inches, man. It was inches. He missed them by inches.
Yep.
Man, I hate that. Still was a good onside kick by my guy Tuck.
Yeah, it was.
It was a smooth little kick, but hey, they didn't get it. I love Harbaugh. Any. I know they probably practice that a lot. Then I see people, and it's so crazy when the Ravens lose, man. Them fans, like, everybody just go crazy.
I'll
be like, man. Normal. Yeah, I'll be like, man, okay, we lost to the Steelers. Yeah, they're gonna get the brag for a week or so. You know what I'm saying, by 1 point. But hey, they still atop. They still atop. Yep. Still got a great game coming up against the Browns this week. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Got to get this victory. Forget the Steelers now. We got to go on the road again.
Yep.
Got to go on the road again. Hostile environment in the dog pound. You know what I'm saying? And try to beat the Browns, who are, you know what I'm saying, a good football team too, who's trying to do their thing in the AFC North as well. So, like you said, man, it's gonna be interesting. You know what I'm saying? In the season.
So now go to that Browns-Ravens game. For both teams, I think this is the biggest game of the year. With the Bengals losing last week, that was big for the Ravens. But if they could have won that game, that would have put them 2 games ahead, which would have been big. But with the Bengals losing, they still sit 1 game ahead in the division. And the Browns are close too. And I think if the Browns lose this game, I don't think they make the playoffs. Like, at one point,
I think they know that too. I think they know that. That's what you just said. I think they know that too. So that's why I say the Ravens gonna have to come back. I don't want the Ravens to lose Sunday, but it's very possible because the Browns are about to come with their best game plan. They're about to come with their best A game. They know the Ravens coming in. They know it's battling for their division. They know, if anything, they can win out. You know what I'm saying? Control their whole destiny. You know what I'm saying? Or at least beat the Ravens and try to get the wild card. You know what I'm saying? With the Bengals ahead with the 1 game. You know what I'm saying? So it's man. Come on, Ravens! You gotta. Man, I know Harbaugh gonna have them ready, man. It's gonna be a great game. I can't wait for that. I can't wait for that Sunday.
I think the main key to the victory there is stacking the box and saying, Baker, you have to beat us. Like the run game clearly can beat you. It's beat you in the past. Chubb and Hunt, that's dangerous. And
with their O-line too.
Yeah, their O-line, like, you can throw any running back out there and they'll run well with their O-line. But the one area of concern for that Browns team is quarterback, and he struggled. And against the Ravens a few weeks ago, or 2 weeks ago, he had a few good throws, but other than that, like, he did not play well. He didn't like pressure. The Ravens forced some turnovers, which they really have struggled to do all year. So blitz, just stack the box, force them to throw the ball. If they beat you like that, they beat you. And I was also reading Jarvis Landry has been dealing with a knee injury all year. So he took the bye week off or whatever, didn't really do much during the bye week to try to rehab. And coming off the bye week in their first practice, missed that practice. So that just shows you how banged up he is, and he's their number 1 receiver. That could be a big factor in the game, especially if he can't play. I'm expecting he'll play. I think they're just trying to have him rested, but if he's limited or any of that, like, Jarvis Landry's a tough receiver in this league, and the Ravens are without Humphrey. So if Jarvis Landry's banged up and Baker doesn't have him, even close to 100%, stack the box and make them throw the ball, because I don't really see anybody else beating you. Donovan People-Jones is fine, but I like Westry in that matchup. So yeah, like I said, we'll see. It'll be interesting to see.
Gonna be an interesting matchup, man. A game, both like you said, both teams got to win. You know what I'm saying? We go probably wait to Sunday to get our predictions on that, man. But I know it's gonna be a close one. It's gonna be a tough matchup, man. Like you said, man, we stopped that run. You know what I'm saying? Make Baker win it. Make Baker win it. And Baker can't do it by himself. We know Baker can't do it by himself. The world know Baker can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Nothing against you, Baker. We just talking about your game right now. You know, and hopefully the Ravens coming up with a great game plan, man, and you know what I'm saying, put it on them. But just know the Browns coming. If Baker just got to hand off 100 times, the New England Patriots showed that game plan the other night. You know what I'm saying, on how to win like that. You know what I'm saying, which is crazy on Monday night.
I don't.
Hey, whatever floats your boat, man. Whatever works, man. They just gave a game plan to it. If you got a solid defense, man, you can do a lot of things.
Yep, for sure. And now last thing before we wrap up the first quarter. So looking to the offseason, I know we have a bunch of weeks left and everything, but right now, for the Ravens heading into the draft and stuff like that, what would you say is the number one position? I think that they need to look to improve on. I would say, honestly, safety. The only reason, like, tackle is definitely a close second.
Yeah.
But
that's what I'm gonna say first. I'm gonna say tackle, and I'm gonna say tackle, and that defense is safe.
Yeah.
Gotta get a ball hawk. Yeah, gotta get a ball hawk. Just like I was watching the Bills the other night against the Patriots, just the two safeties they got. You know what I'm saying? I know they had to you know what I'm saying, guard and run, but they got two tough safeties, you know what I'm saying? You know they some ballers. So I will you know, them injuries hurt our safeties, hurt, you know what I'm saying, a few our safeties and everything. But if we can go in the draft, get a good tackle, man, get somebody that can protect him, you know what I'm saying, and get a probably an offensive analyst in there with Greg, you know what I'm saying, to help him out a little bit too. You know, just everybody, you know what I'm saying? Just open that thing up a little bit more, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, it was open up, but it's like they closing it back down, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I ain't gonna talk about the play, but I ain't gonna talk about your play calling that like that, because I'm not an offensive coordinator. I don't know nothing about that, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna let you do your thing, you know. But yeah, man, get some protection from Lamar, man, you know what I'm saying? Get somebody on that defense where we can blitz. We got a ball hawk. You throw it up, man, we going to get it. Eric Reed style, Eric Weddle, you know what I'm saying, type stuff, man.
Yeah, and another position, defensive line, like the Ravens are aging big time. It's tough to say who they will take. I think they'll go tackle or edge rusher or D line in general with the first round. But if there's a couple safeties there in the second or third round, I don't think they can pass. Like, I know Brisker from Penn State, he's been in some mock drafts them in the first round. But like we were kind of saying, I would try to get a safety in the second round. Hopefully a good one can fall to you. But in the first round, you have got to hit this year, whatever it is. If it's offensive lineman, you need to get a guy who is going to protect Lamar, not get beat off the ball. And if you get a defensive lineman, you need to get a guy that's going to shut down the run and get pressure.
Or some dominating guy.
Something. They got to hit.
Yeah, so you just got to get a guy. And just stay. We got to stay healthy. I mean, we stay healthy, man. I think shit'll be different. I think a lot of stuff will be different. You know, stuff will be different, but just how football goes, man. You gotta the highs and lows of the football. You know what I'm saying, the woes of the injuries, but you know, just to be in their position right now. You know, the Ravens just being in our position right now. Salute the leadership. You know what I'm saying, John Harbaugh, man, he leading them, man. So, man, hope the end of the season, hope we talking good, man, for weeks on, man, about the Ravens, man. Hope we talking about wins and not losses, baby.
Yep, for sure. But that is it for the first quarter, and now we'll stop this and jump into the second quarter. The first trivia question for this for the following the first quarter. What is the Ravens' overall record against the Browns since the Ravens started and the Browns have been in the league? What is the Ravens' overall record against the Browns? So now jumping into the second quarter, we'll be discussing the game, a few of the games from this past Sunday, and what our thoughts were. So we'll start off. This past weekend, we'll start off with Thursday Night Football, the Cowboys versus the Saints. Cowboys won 27-17, but it really wasn't the easiest win, I would say. They struggled a bit throwing the ball. Dak threw for 238 yards, touchdown, interception. And really, the only reason they won this game is the Saints quarterback. Taysom Hill threw 41 times, only completed 19 passes, 264 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. Like, he ran the ball well. He had 11 carries for 100 yards, but 4 interceptions, and it was just.
He need to play running back. He need to play running back.
For real.
That's the running back. That's
yeah,
the
exactly.
Back right there. Y'all be talking about Lamar. That's the running back. And I don't know what Taysom Hill got on that organization for him to have. They let him throw that ball over 40 times, thinking he was going to do anything, and they still had a chance to win. And that just goes to show, like, what's going on in Dallas. Like, Dallas defense is taking, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Going backwards a little bit, and they was one of the top defenses in the league, you know what I'm saying, the first half of the season. So I just think they need to pick it up in their division because, you know, they got teams behind them hungry too.
Yep.
So, yeah, it was a good win for them on Thursday night, you know what I'm saying, but I know they got to play better, you know what I'm saying, to close out the season.
So now jumping to the next game, the Chargers versus the Bengals. This was a shocker to some people. I thought the Chargers would win, but I thought it would be a tough game, but they won 41-22. It was a blowout. They started off on top big, and then after halftime, it seemed like the Bengals were going to kind of make a run and come back. But as the fourth quarter started, the Chargers took back over. They were only up 2 at one point, and Bengals really couldn't get any closer. Joe Burrow hurt his hand or his pinky, so that played a big factor late, I would say. But moving forward, the Bengals need to start winning out, like to get in at the playoffs. I think I wouldn't say win out, but they do need to finish above 500 in their next 5 games or so. Just because right now in a tough division, you really can't afford to, like, this isn't a bad loss. I wouldn't say Chargers is a bad loss, but at home losing by 19 that's not very good.
I felt it's a terrible loss because it's an AFC loss. It's late in the season. If they could have got it, it probably would have been good. And just like you just made the key point, then this tough division, the AFC North, where they trying to win, and they got teams on their back too, with division teams to play as well. So I just felt like me and my partner, I was in Atlanta for the SEC championship, and he a Bengals fan. He was just like, the Bengals for the ride. I like, no, I think the Chargers are gonna go in and, you know what I'm saying, handle business. You know what I'm saying, they got it rolling a little bit. So, you know, that's my team to win it. So hopefully they get the rolling at the end of this season and try to get this thing for the Chiefs, man.
For real. But now at one point that actually looked really good though. Like, the Chargers were rolling and doing really well, and then I don't know what happened. It just, they kind of fell off, but they're not out.
Every team, they're not out. It's like every team doing that. They get the rolling, and then they just fall back. There's no team just steady, just unless the Packers and the, you know what I'm saying, the Cardinals, you know what I'm saying, they pretty much staying afloat. In the Patriots, just the, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna talk about them in a minute. Just they winning streak, how they've been going. So that's a team that's been consistent, you know what I'm saying, for weeks. So see if they can hold it out too.
So now jumping into the Washington football team versus Raiders game. This was a pretty ugly game, but the Washington football team continues to find ways to win. Taylor Heineke threw for 196 yards, 2 touchdowns, the interception. But what stands out really is just kind of the way that they move on offense. They're smart. They take up a long time with drives. And their defense holding the Raiders to 15 points is also huge. But late in the game, throughout the game, if you watch, the time of possession is just one-sided in the Washington football team's games. And I made that point last week, and that's kind of what the Ravens did in 2019 when they were the team, except they would score some more points than the Washington football team does. But it's just impressive to see them kind of taking up long drives. And then at the end, they go down a point with 2 minutes and 20 seconds left. And they went down the field and got a field goal to win the game. This Washington football team is not by any means the best team on paper in the NFL, but they're winning games. They're playing smart, and they're not doing more than what they can do. Like they're playing it smart. They're going about what they can do, and they're using their guys to their full advantage. And that's really why they're winning games right now. It's really impressive. Like I know the Raiders have struggled lately, but the Washington football team, if they beat Dallas this week, I think wins the division. That's a hot take or whatever. But if they can beat Dallas this weekend, I think they're going to continue to stay hot and win that division.
Man, watch the football team. They, like you said, on offense, I love the way that they offense, you know what I'm saying, take their time down the field, play action, running the ball. Heineken do what he need to do, dink and dunk. They running stop route. They running comebacks. You know what I'm saying? Nothing pretty much deep, making sure that you gotta, you know what I'm saying, represent. And I know they got some in their arsenal for double moves and you know, deep passes, but the way that they're doing their thing, and they got a good, like you said, they got a good chance of closing out their schedule. They have nothing but division games left. So they know their opponent that's coming up each and every week is in and out, is Dallas, Philly, Dallas, Philly, the Giants. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy how they enter their season. So they got a good chance of winning, man. And I got them beating Dallas this weekend. You know what I'm saying? Just the way that they run their offense and the way that Dallas defense been playing, man. We got to see, man. And like you said, their defense been playing, you know what I'm saying, lights out, just doing what they have to do to win games, holding that offense, you know what I'm saying, the 15 points, you know what I'm saying, the week before they was high powered, you know what I'm saying, with Deshaun Jackson and all that. So good thing they shut them down.
Yeah. And now jumping into the next game, the San Francisco 49ers versus Seattle Seahawks. This is the most unacceptable loss. If I was a 49ers fan, I would be heated. Like I don't understand. Yeah. They scored 0 points in the second half and lost to a Seattle team who's done. They're not.
I don't know what Seattle doing. Yeah, Seattle done to me. I feel like that. I feel like Seattle and how San Fran played in that game. I feel like they done too. Like it's just like they just gave up to say, the Rams and the Cardinals got this. We just
0 points in the fourth. Yeah. If you score a touchdown, you at least go to OT. But that's unacceptable. You scored 23 points in the first half and 0 in the second. I don't understand. Elijah Mitchell has been a beast this year. He's really the one sign of really strength on that offense. I mean, Kittle's pretty good, but Garoppolo's not the guy. I don't think. I don't think Garoppolo's the guy. I think
when they got it, man. I think right now, I think they need to go and finish the season with Lance.
That's what I was about to say. I think Lance is in. I think I would agree.
Go and get him ready for next year, man, because like how he looked in that game, I'm like, Jimmy, did you even like watch film or like what's going on? I swear, what time I watched it, I'm like, what's going on, man? Like, is this my Tuscaloosa Stampede 7-8? That's how we looked in the first round of the playoffs, man. Like dropping the ball and interception, can't hold on there. Like, it just look bad, man. It just look bad. It looked bad.
I think they're done. I think both of those teams are done. Like I said, and speaking of Seattle, Russell Wilson's going to be gone at the end of this year. I think for sure.
I think Pete go dip too.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, Seattle is going to start a new era. They have to. I think like they were exciting at one point. Very exciting going to Super Bowl all the time, but now it's done. Like they can write that off. That team's just not
right out. It's done. Even Bobby Wagner, like I know he gonna probably finish the career out there, but like it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Yeah. The whatever they call it, it looked like it rained 24/7 up there. You know,
literally.
I played up there once when we played with the Ravens. We played up there one time. I played up there in Seattle. Cal Bowler was the quarterback.
That was not good.
Woo, that was rough. It was rough.
He was a first round pick, wasn't he?
Bro, man, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy.
No offense. That was one of the worst quarterbacks in Ravens history, for sure. But to be a first round pick, like, come on, bro. But now jumping into the next game, the Denver Broncos versus Kansas City Chiefs. This game was a little bit of a surprise because, like,
it made me mad a little bit, man, because I wanted the Broncos to win so bad.
Yeah, and that interception was the big play. Like, and then we got to see Daniel Sorensen doing whatever he was doing on the return. He's not very good, but Like,
oh my God. I said that's the wrong person to get a pick, man. That's the
yes,
wrong person
literally,
to get a pick. Y'all
literally.
got my man a pick. Finally, he got in that end zone, got a pick six. You can't
Oh.
tell him nothing. Salute to him, man. I don't know what the hell he was doing. He went into the end zone before, but
Oh
man,
my
I thought
God.
I said people still, and I'm still not just caught up on the Chiefs, man. The Broncos just couldn't get that offense
That's
going.
what I'm saying. Like, they didn't even look that good.
They just scored some points, man, because the defense did what they had to do, man. 22 points against the Chiefs. The way the Chiefs been playing, that is good, man. And
Yeah.
then they didn't even score 22 points.
Yeah, for real. Sorensen with that, whatever. Like,
You know
that
what I'm
was,
saying? So, like, come on, man, just get a little offense. And that's the thing. And I just want to say that goes to show, like, man, the Chiefs defense been playing pretty good, man. And I just want to give them
yeah,
a salute to them.
they
Their
have.
defense coordinator been having them guys ready. You know what I'm saying? Salute to their defense, and that will win them the game, to be honest.
Yeah, you're right. But Patrick Mahomes, he was 15 for 29 with 184 yards and an interception. Like, that's not him.
That's not
He's,
him, bro. I think they got his number. All that talking he be doing for the thing, calling out the mic. I was saying before, I said, all that shit don't matter. He still don't know what's going on.
yeah,
I said, you know what I'm saying? So go after him, blitz him in and lock them DBs up.
yep,
I mean, lock them receivers up. And that's pretty much what they were doing. Like, people got the game plan for them. That's why I said, I can't wait. I just got to, man. I wish we could fast forward to just see how the end of this season go end,
yeah.
man, because it's gonna be interesting, baby.
Yeah, they're winning their division right now, but there's still a chance that they get bumped out. I think the
Yep,
Chargers will catch them. It'll be a tough race
man.
between them and the Chargers for that division.
Yep.
Um,
I'm looking forward to it.
yeah, for sure. But now jumping into our final game, the Patriots versus the Bills. The biggest thing here, Mac Jones was 2 for 3 for 19 yards. Like,
19, man.
what?
Just a simple
How?
game. It remind me of our first playoff game. I think Joe Flacco rookie year. Who did we play in the first round? I think we played Miami. He threw like he won 3 passes. I think he threw at least 12 passes, but we ran the ball a lot. He threw like
Right.
12 passes. It was like 6 for 12 or something like that. But be 2 for 3 and they ran the ball 32 consecutive times once at a point in time. Like, it's like they couldn't even stop the run. Like,
Yeah.
what's going? But you know what they about to do is goal line on a 12-yard line. They got in goal line and ran power. That said power O, and just said, I just know my guy's more physical than your guy.
Yeah.
Let's go. I'm gonna beat
Literally.
you cold out here in your stadium. Y'all, and then the Buffalo Bills come out there and want to throw the ball 100 times.
And Josh Allen sucked. Like, he actually, I'm not gonna try to. That's
They
disrespectful.
didn't even run them. They didn't even run them like I
Yeah.
thought they would. Like
He only has 6 carries for 39 yards.
They play calling was all like throwing the ball. I think they were just trying to, we could throw the ball in our arena. We could throw.
Yeah,
throw the
but, like,
ball in
it's
this
not gonna
weather.
work. Like, the one past the Diggs in the end zone. Like, that's why I shouldn't say Allen sucked, because I mean, it wasn't a bad throw, but like, you could tell how bad the wind was by the way Diggs reacted to that ball. That ball hit him in the arm right here, but you could tell for a while that ball was not going to land there. That wind took the ball, like, and they just keep throwing it. Josh Allen has showed he's mobile, he can run. They could do some trickery, but no, they just kept having him drop back, and there wasn't much success there. That's why you only scored 10 points. Like, and another thing in terms for the Patriots, it was like 3rd and 12. Like, I'm sitting there watching, like, all right, here comes a pass. Like, it'll be a second pass of the game, whatever. No trickery, straight Bill Belichick, straight hands the ball off, and you get the first down. I'm like, what? Like, they do not care. Like, Belichick is looking over there like, I'm him. Like, I don't care what you're trying to talk about.
Playing defense, man. You can tell, like, had the best defense down pat, and Belichick having fun. Like he having fun with these guys. Like he having fun, like he giving in a little bit. You got to, man. You can't just be the same. You got to evolve, just like Nick Saban doing down here. You got to evolve with your team, man. You got to evolve with your team, and that was Belichick doing, man. Great game by the Pats.
Yeah, I know for a fact when he saw the weather was going to be like that, he loved it, because that is the most Bill Belichick game there is. Like a dry 14-10. We're gonna hand the ball off almost every play of the game, and still gonna beat you. And McDermott came out and said, don't give Belichick more like more hype than he deserves.
Yeah.
We couldn't score. What do you talk? You scored 10 points? Like and he's like, we were in the red zone twice. No, shut up. Like that, you should be worried about your own guys. Like that shouldn't be the comment.
Said, like, and that goes to show you, like, bro, you ain't even focused on how your guys just play. You more worried about
what
everybody,
like
what Belichick did, what the media about to say about how they just dominated y'all ass with 3 passes.
Yep.
And ran the ball down your throat. That's all he was worried about. So get out your feelings, baby.
Exactly.
Do something about it next time.
Exactly. But that is it for the second quarter. We'll be doing our second trivia question, and we'll jump into the third quarter where we'll talk about the playoff picture right now and who we think will stay and who we think might change up. Our second trivia question of the day is, what round was Dak Prescott drafted in the draft? Little different question. This one you really shouldn't have to cheat. It's kind of known, I guess. But what round was Dak Prescott drafted in the NFL draft? So now starting the third quarter, looking at the playoff picture for now, we'll start with the AFC. The Patriots are a lock to get in, I would say. They're serious. I don't think there's any question that they get in. They're the 1 seed. Number 2 is Tennessee. I'll see what you think. I think Tennessee will drop maybe out of the playoffs. It's kind of tough. Yeah, I agree.
Colts go in it. Colts go in the division. Have you watched the Hard Knocks? Have you watched the Hard Knocks?
Yeah, I watched the first episode. I haven't seen the most recent one.
Man, it's dope. I think I watched episode 3 the other night. Man, it is dope, man. I think the Colts, I think the Colts gonna win. I think the Colts gonna win their division. The Colts just gotta win the other games they supposed to.
Yeah, for real. Like I truly think the Tennessee drop out. Yeah, I think Tennessee could lose. This will be a little bit of a stretch, but I think Tennessee could lose out. Like this week, it should be an easy one as they play Jacksonville, but I still think they could lose that game. Then they travel to Pittsburgh. I don't think they beat Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh. Then they're at home against San Fran. If last week's San Francisco team showed up, they could beat them. But other than that, I don't see them beating San Francisco. Miami's playing hot right now. I don't think they'll beat Miami. And then the final week of the season is against Houston, who they've already lost to. So really on there, they could win 3, but that's at best. I think they win 3 of their final 5 at best. I think they'll maybe 1 or 2. I think they'll win 1 or 2 games to win out. And I think the Colts really will ride Jonathan Taylor's success and end up getting in the playoffs because of that. Jonathan Taylor's been unstoppable. I don't see anybody stopping him. They play the Cardinals, who are a tough opponent, but I think they'll upset them because right now the Colts are that Jonathan Taylor offense is different. I'll say that. Like,
yeah, it's very different. Very different.
Yeah,
very different when you run it downhill and putting it on you, and them linemen laying on you every play. You don't know where it's coming from. So, and he running that rock. That's why I said that Hard Knocks dope. Just to see the behind the scenes of seeing them in practice and all that. So, and Wentz, man, Wentz playing good for him.
Yeah.
Jake, he helping Wentz out. He helping Wentz out a lot. You know what I'm saying? That play action wide open. You just put it on him.
So now jumping to our next team, the Ravens. We kind of already talked about them. I think this week will kind of dictate how the rest of the season turns out. If you can beat Cleveland in Cleveland, I think you go to the playoffs, no doubt. They got a tough schedule.
I just heard they just saying the Browns should beat the Ravens this week.
Yeah.
I'm like, what, man? Like, they should beat them. Like, we'll see though. We got to see when the game kick off and see how this thing gonna go, man. So, the Ravens should get in though. They should get in regardless of winning the division or the wild card.
Yeah. I think they'll get in one as well. The Chiefs are the next one at 8-4. I think they get in as the wild card. Right behind them is the Chargers we've talked about. So between those 2 teams, I think that matchup next Thursday night, that'll be a great one.
It'll be awesome.
Kansas City's got to go to LA. Finally, a good Thursday night football game. Tonight is an average one. We'll talk about that next quarter though. But next week, Thursday in LA, I think the Chargers beat Kansas City. If Mahomes really can't figure it out like he has been lately, the Chargers will win that one handily.
The Chargers play like they played against Joe Burrow. They play like they play against
They'll blow them
Georgia,
out.
they'll be all right. They'll blow them out. So, but the Chargers just, man, they play good on the road and they get home and just like,
Yeah,
I think they just get home and remember that they're sharing that stadium with somebody.
literally.
Crazy.
But the Chiefs, this week they play Las Vegas. I think they beat them. Next week's the Chargers, like we talked about. But then they got Pittsburgh at home. I think they'll beat Pittsburgh. Cincinnati at Cincinnati. That's going to be a tough, great game.
Tough and a dope game. That
yes.
game gonna be awesome.
Yes, that will 100%. And then the final game will be the Broncos again. That could be a week where I think Kansas City gets in. So that could be a week where Mahomes doesn't even play. Depending on where they are. If they're a wild card team, I think he might have to play just because there will be some seeding issues if they lose that game. But it'll be interesting to see like between those two teams. And then jumping to our 6th seed right now, the Cincinnati Bengals. They play San Fran this week, Denver in Denver next week, Baltimore at home that week. I think the Ravens win that game because Harbaugh does not always like losing to a team twice is not. Harbaugh usually has something ready for a team that beats them.
And Baltimore got to beat them.
Yeah,
point blank. Period.
100%.
The Bengals know if they win that game, they will be nice if they beat beat Baltimore and win like 2 more games. They send nice. You know what I'm saying? So they know the deal too. So they're gonna be interesting, like we talked about earlier.
Yeah,
it's gonna be an interesting finish to the season.
And then I never thought I'd be saying this. The last seed in the playoffs right now, the Buffalo Bills at 7-5. Like that's so tough because if you go to the NFC, like 6-6, you're in the playoffs right now. And then if you go to the AFC, 6-6, you're sitting at like 12th. Like that's just shows you it's kind of like the NBA where it used to be with the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference, where the Western Conference was stacked and the Eastern Conference was way down. Like it's not the same because the top teams in the AFC and the NFC, probably the NFC has the advantage. But then you go to the lesser teams, like the teams who are borderline playoffs, and the AFC is just way stronger. The Colts aren't even in the playoffs. Steelers aren't in the playoffs. Raiders, Browns aren't even in the playoffs. And then the Dolphins aren't in the playoffs either. Like there's so many teams sitting on the fence right now. Like that'll be a toss up between. I think Titans will drop and they'll be on the fence at one point. I think the Browns will, depending on this week, go up, and then the Steelers I think will drop too. Like the Steelers just won their Super Bowl against the Ravens. They acted like, but like I was saying, the 7 seed, the Bills, I think they get in. I think they'll hopefully turn it around because they're an exciting team to watch in the playoffs. But I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, they'll get it in. They just gotta, close out the games. They need to close out just like the rest of these teams. But how looking on the AFC side, they look pretty good for the teams. It's crazy, man. We would never thought, the Patriots be the number 1 seed right now. By the roll in, get a bye. And they have 2
That's
games
crazy.
in the Super Bowl.
I don't think anybody predicted that. I don't think anybody ever could have predicted that. But jumping into the NFC, the Cardinals are number 1. We definitely won't have any conversation about them being 1 or 2 or 3 with the Bucks. But 2 is the Packers. They're good. That's not really debatable. 3 is the Bucks. They're good. That's not debatable. And then 4 is the Cowboys, who are sitting at 8-4. Let's looking at their schedule to finish the season. Washington, the Giants, who they should beat. Washington, who could go either way. Arizona, which could go either way. And then week 18 against Philly I'm not saying it will because Dallas is ahead right now, but that could be a playoff game. Like that could be the winner gets in the playoffs at one point. Like, you don't really know. Philly could be on the fence or at least for Dallas to win the division. Like if they lose that game to Philly week 18, they could be out of the division at least.
I think Dallas got, a tough schedule just with them having to play, the Washington football team twice.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Then they, like you said, having, then having to play, Philly in their last game. That's 3 losses right there, I feel.
Yep.
That they could have, So that's 8-8, and the other 2 games they got against the Cards, You know what I'm saying? That's a toss up. You know,
Yep.
so I think it's gonna be tough for Dallas. You know what I'm saying? Not saying I'm a Dallas fan because I love the way that Dak done been playing, man, that defense been playing. So hopefully they can turn this thing around. It's crazy. I just heard on Sports Center they said the head coach guaranteed to win this week versus
Yeah.
Washington football team. So hey, we about to see, baby. We about to see.
Yeah,
We
you
about
come
to
on,
see. We
you
about
come
to
out and
see.
say that, you better win that game. But
You better come on with it. Yes, sir.
yeah, literally. The next team is the Rams, who are sitting at 8-4, but I think if they were in any other division, they would be have a pretty good shot at winning it.
Yeah,
But
they'd be
the
locked
NFC
in just that
West,
division. Yeah. Yeah,
the
that West,
NFC West,
they at the top. You ain't got to worry about the last two teams on that
yeah,
thing. Probably just beating them at the end of the season.
yep,
Is getting your wins that you're supposed to get. But and knowing that they're gonna be playing their hearts out too. So that's
yeah,
the thing. You just got teams that, man, let's just finish these division games off. But you got teams in your division that's still hungry, still just got pride, still want to
literally.
win games. So hey, I hope the Rams, you know what I'm saying, do their thing, man.
Yeah, and now jumping into the next team, Washington, like you said earlier, Dallas, Philly, Giants. That
Giants.
that for a team that is like on the fence, like wanting to get in the playoffs, that you couldn't want that more at your hottest point of the year. Like earlier in the year, they played some tougher teams like Kansas City, Green Bay. Played a one game in the division, which was week 2 against the Giants, which they won. But when they were having their struggles, they were playing better teams, and now that they're stronger, I would say you couldn't want
About to
this
play a
more if you're
few
watching
weak
a football team.
teams. Yeah, they about to play a few like Dallas. Dallas on the back end, they're not looking good.
Yeah.
Dallas got to beat them this week. So they
Yep.
beat Dallas this week. They ride good. Then you got Philly. You know what I'm saying? Who's
You
not
can't count out.
quarterback. You can't count out Philly
Yeah.
either, especially with their backup quarterback who stepped in the game, who
Yep.
doing the thing. So do you got a QB controversy in Philly? And
Yeah.
Gardner Minshew is a good quarterback. Don't get it
Yep.
twisted. Get it twisted like he's not no good quarterback and can't lead a team. And he showed that, you know what I'm saying, this week too. So, you know, that division is crazy, man. That's why I say we gonna fast. I wish we could fast forward, but it's gonna go by. It's gonna go by fast. We're gonna
Yep.
be talking about it. We're gonna be talking about these playoffs again and getting ready for them, getting ready for that wild card weekend.
Yep. But now jumping in to the next team, our final team, the San Francisco 49ers. Looking at their next 5 games, Cincinnati, Atlanta, which should be a guaranteed win, Tennessee, which in Tennessee, that's 50-50, but I think they'll win that. Houston, which should be a win, and then at Los Angeles, which I think will be a loss. So
they can quietly get in on that
yes.
wild card, that last that like they could quietly get in just with the games that they have left.
Yep.
If they can punch out some victories, especially like they played, you know what I'm saying, especially like on that Thursday night when they played the Rams, and I think Monday night or Thursday night when they played the Rams and they punched the Rams in the mouth.
Right.
If they can win a few of them games, if they can hold on, they can probably get,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, that wild card at the end. So man, it's so crazy that if y'all like paying attention to our show, how we just talking about it, it's gonna be an interesting end of the season, man.
Yes.
Just with these teams, because it's like it's no locks instead of like with the top teams just in the NFC probably. But even in the AFC, you really don't know because like the Patriots, they can win all these games and these last games they can fold. You know what I'm saying? Teams can figure them out and, you know what I'm saying, beat them. So it's gonna be. Oh, yeah, I can't wait for it, man. Hopefully them Chargers win it, just like my bracket said at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, no, for real. But one thing that's crazy, I like that. Like, there's not many. Like for the teams that are on the fence. Like the rest of their games are really important. For example, the Chargers Chiefs next week they play each other, and the winner of that, if they both can keep winning, will be the head of the division. Like, there's not that many cupcakes for teams who are on the fence making the playoffs either. Like most of their games are important for them and their opposing team. Like a few of them play Houston, who obviously has no chance of making anything. But other than that, like I think everybody who's playing each other is somewhat in playoff contention right now, which is huge for everybody, really.
That's why everybody need to pay attention to football these past weeks.
Yep.
Games coming on. We finna talk about a great one in the next quarter.
Yep.
Got some great games about to come on these following weeks, man. Pay attention to these teams. Pay attention to the injury report. Pay attention to the COVID list. Pay attention to everything, man. So I can't wait. I can't wait to see the end, just to see who's gonna be holding that Lombardi Trophy at the end. And like I just said before, hope it's the Chargers. Hope I win my bracket.
Yeah, for real, because then you can tell everybody off. But that is it. Yeah, no, you'll be able to tell everybody off because everybody was on our comments talking crazy. But
they told me up. They told me up that week.
They did. But that is it for the third quarter. We'll jump into our final trivia question and then talk about Thursday night football, and the big matchup tonight.
Yes, sir.
For the next trivia question, what is the highest scoring game in NFL history? This one will be an easy one to look up, but what is the highest scoring game in NFL history in terms of combined points? Now, jumping into the fourth quarter, we will be discussing tonight's game between Pittsburgh Steelers and the Minnesota Vikings. I'll say what I've been saying. Pittsburgh won their Super Bowl last week against the Ravens. I don't understand every time.
Man, do not. Hey, listen. I want all the fans to understand. Ben do not like the Steelers, man. He do not like Pittsburgh Steelers. He do not like Pittsburgh. All right, go ahead, man.
And I don't. It's definitely biased, but I just don't think they're good. Like they beat the Ravens. All right, yeah. I guess you could say that the Ravens aren't any good either. But like, there were so many times in that game that was just the Ravens should have won. The Ravens are better than the Steelers. I don't care what anybody says. I understand Steelers beat the Ravens. Ravens are better than Pittsburgh. Yeah. Pittsburgh sucks. They're not going to make the playoffs. They got a great coach, Mike Tomlin, but that is it. With Ben Roethlisberger at quarterback right now, if this was 6 years ago, Pittsburgh would be one of the top teams in the NFL, honestly. But Ben Roethlisberger just doesn't have it anymore. Like you got to get pressure on him.
It's crazy with Big Ben. You know what I'm saying? You know, they just announced this is farewell season.
Yeah, this is fair. Yeah,
be retiring after this season. So I think that gave him a little motivation going in there versus, you know what I'm saying, the Ravens. But they only scored 20 points. 20 points. I thought, you know what I'm saying, like if them scoring 20 points, the Ravens would have won. But it's so crazy. I saw a thing that said in the six wins that the Steelers got, you know what I'm saying, he don't throw no picks. In all the losses, he throw picks. So Big Ben probably want to hand that ball out to Najee Harris, you know what I'm saying, tonight. You know what I'm saying, versus the Vikings, short week. I know that game plan gonna be short. I just hate when they do them quick little slant plays for 3 and 4 yards, or like just hand the ball off to Najee.
Literally.
It's literally a running play. You know what I'm saying? So then Johnson turned into a great number 18 turned to a great receiver for him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Top 10 in receptions and reception and reception yards. So Big Ben doing a little bit right, you know what I'm saying? They have a, you know what I'm saying, number one guy like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's gonna be a tough matchup versus that Mike Zimmer defense tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so, and that defense is a little banged up. So especially with the front seven, Anthony Barr, Eric Kendricks, Blake Lynch, like a bunch of linebackers are either limited. I'm reading on NFL, either limited or unable to play in a short week. That's Pittsburgh, I think, is going to try to run the ball all over Minnesota. But I think Pittsburgh's two keys to winning are getting that run game going and getting pressure on Kirk Cousins. In that game against the Cowboys, earlier in the year, when Minnesota lost, that was really because that Cowboys defense got pressure on Kirk Cousins. They made him, and this Pittsburgh, oh my gosh, TJ Watt should eat tonight. Like,
oh man, and that's crazy. Like when you just said pressure, I was just about to say they lead just saw another stat, bro. The Steelers lead the league in sacks.
Yeah,
and that's with TJ Watt missing games.
He's missing a couple games.
The league in sacks, and you know what I'm saying. That's him missing games. I know it's just by half a sack. You know, I know Garrett right there too. But,
right.
they team lead the league, you know what I'm saying, in sacks, you know what I'm saying. So they're getting at the defense. So I know hope Kirk don't be running for his life tonight. You know, TJ, like you just said, TJ Watt should eat tonight. How many sacks you think? What you want to go on a sack thing? I think you're gonna have two and a half sacks tonight.
That's all I was gonna say.
Have 2.5.
I'll say 2. He had 3.5 against Baltimore, and
yeah, 3.5 against Baltimore, man.
Yeah, he's the defensive player of the year. You just said I hate Pittsburgh, and all that. I'll give it to him.
He's defensive player. I gotta get that to him. But him missing games, coming back in, being an impact player, leading sack, TJ Watt, you got my salute. Like you told that.
Yeah.
Man, you deserve that bread you got. Yeah. You deserve that money.
Yep.
They need to give you a little bit more, TJ.
Oh, for real. But like
they need to give you a little bit more, bro.
I don't even think it's a debate on who, because people were saying Garrett, but the numbers don't lie. TJ Watt's above Garrett, and he's played less. Like it should be out there. I don't know. Like TJ Watt,
less, man. They some great pass rushers in the AFC North, but TJ Watt is a different animal. What he did last week, I know we down. You know what I'm saying? That we ain't got our starters in the, you know what I'm saying, in our tackles and all that, but the way that he did it, like this the NFL. You gotta handle your business.
He goes to play like he's the decision tonight. Like I don't really. I guess in a few minutes when we do our predictions, I'll give who I think will win. But I think this game is gonna solely be on what Kirk Cousins can do against the pressure, because Justin Jefferson is emerging as one of the best receivers in the NFL, and that's not even really a question either.
Hope Thielen ankle good. He can play.
I think he's not playing. I think he's out. I'm pretty sure.
I don't think. I don't think he's gonna play. Though I said short week, he probably ain't gonna play.
Yep.
So Jefferson, they got a decent offense, man. Hopefully, hopefully Cook play. They said hopefully he don't have.
I heard he's probably. Yeah, he'll probably be back too.
You know what I'm saying, from his shoulders and everything. I know it's a short week too, so he gonna have a big load on his hands.
Yep.
They're gonna be doing a lot of play action in this game, man. But I think it'll be a tough one. It'll be. I think with that Steelers defense, man, it'll be a little tough one for the Vikings. And then, like you said, the Steelers on a high right now. They just got a great win last week, short week. This will be a great little short week win for them. Give them some rest to get ready for next week. And, you know, for them to try to go, you know, they'll be 7-5, you know what I'm saying, with this win tonight, sitting in the good. And after they started the way that they started, you know, I know they'll be satisfied with that 7-5-1, you know what I'm saying? And one game out of the playoffs, you know what I'm saying? Looking like they one game out of the wild card, you know what I'm saying, behind the Bills. So
and speaking of that, like what I was kind of talking about before with these matchups later in the year, the Vikings aren't, I think they're one game out of the playoffs, and the Steelers, I think, are 1.5 because of the tie. So this game for either team could change the season. Like the loser probably won't get in, and the winner has a better shot, which makes sense. But it would make sense, given off of what I've seen in the past years of my life, for Pittsburgh to win this game and go on and make the playoffs. I don't want it to happen, but nothing would surprise me. Every year, I'm like, man, the Steelers suck, and somehow they find a way. So it wouldn't surprise me the Steelers, but I really still think they're not going to. But that'll get us into our predictions.
What you got, man? What you got?
27-24 Minnesota. I'm going Minnesota.
Ooh,
There's no shot.
Minnesota, okay.
There's no shot I'm taking.
Oh, man, that's a good one. Hey, man, we going against each other now. I got the Steelers winning. And look, I got the Steelers winning. I got the Steelers dominating on this short week. Them just coming off that high. I feel like it'll be 24-10. The Steelers, they're going to run the ball a lot, hit them with a deep play action. I don't even know how that guy got wide open against. I know it was a blown coverage. I got us then, but that play action, he sucked everybody in just wide open, man. You got to do what you got to do. That, and I think that was the backup end then. So, man, it's crazy. I think they're gonna do damage to the Vikings tonight, man. And Zimmer with that depleted defense. Short week, give Najee the ball, man. Get a young cat the ball, man. 24-10. 24-10.
Wow. All right. Well, let us know what y'all think. I'm going to be posting this video to Twitter. Please let us know what y'all think in the comments. This is a big week. We're going against each other. Anybody who knows me know I couldn't take Pittsburgh tonight. Like, and I truly don't think they'll win. Like, that's not even off of bias. I think it'll be a good game, but like I said, I got Minnesota coming out on top in a close one. But like I said earlier, my big thing is TJ Watt. He'll be the difference maker if Pittsburgh wins per usual.
Yep.
But like I said, that's really it. But that's it for the episode. We'll be going live Sunday, hopefully.
Yeah, we going live Sunday, man. Hey, this is my first Sunday. I'll be on the road on Sunday. Been traveling last. Shout out to the Alabama Crimson Tide, man, winning the SEC championship.
They won it.
Playoffs, baby. Win the playoffs, baby. #1 seed, man. Playing Cincinnati. Roll Tide. Shout out to all my people I chill with this weekend, man. Past weekend in Atlanta, man. It was a great time. SEC championship. That's why I was on the road. That's why we couldn't go live Sunday, man. My bad. My fault, man. But hey, we're going live Sunday with the picks. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna chime in on this game right here, you know, tonight, man. Y'all look at it, y'all check Thursday night game. Check us out on Sundays, man. Remember, man, we're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, audio. Y'all just want to hear us. Y'all want to see our faces, man. You know what I'm saying? Even though, man, we some nice looking guys, man. You know?
No, for real.
Affirmation Podcast, man. Y'all tune in, man. Subscribe to our YouTube page, man. We need y'all, man. Subscribe, man. Like, do whatever. Answer them trivia questions so I can sign these hats and send them out, man. We're going to have a giveaway coming out soon. Man, Ben, like always, baby, I appreciate you, baby.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you as well. But like I said, we'll have this out. We'll have some content out on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok and all that. So look out for that. But like he said, Sunday, be on the lookout. We're gonna go live. We'll put out a tweet sometime Saturday, figuring out what time we're gonna go live on Sunday. But we'll be discussing this game and the rest of our picks. But thank you guys for watching. And like you said, subscribe and follow us on everything.
iPhone, baby.